Have you ever woken up in the dead of night with that strange feeling that you're not alone? That feeling of dread coiling in your stomach, your heart pounding against your ribs like a trapped bird. For me, that feeling became my nightly reality, all starting about 3 weeks ago. It began subtly, a distant sound pulling me from the depths of sleep. The first time, I thought I'd dreamt it. The chime of my doorbell, clear as day, at exactly 4:04 a.m. I stumbled out of bed, my mind fuzzy, and peeked through the peephole. Nothing, just the empty, silent street bathed in the eerie orange glow of the streetlight. I checked my security camera feed on my phone. The timestamp was there, 4:04 a.m., but the porch was empty. I chalked it up to a prank, a glitch, anything but what it really was. The second night it happened again. 4:04 a.m., the same chime. This time I was faster. I ran to the door, heart thudding, and yanked it open. Again, nothing. Just the cold night air and the whisper of the wind through the trees. I told myself it was kids, maybe a wiring issue. I even called an electrician the next day. He checked everything, the bell, the wiring, the transformer. Everything's in perfect working order, he said, shrugging. No shorts, no faults. That night, the knot of anxiety in my stomach tightened. I knew it would happen again, and it did. 4:04 a.m., the chime echoed through my silent house. This time I didn't get up. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence that followed. This became my ritual. Every night, I'd go to bed with a sense of impending doom. I'd toss and turn, my eyes snapping open at 3:50, 4 o'clock, 4:02. And then, right on schedule, the bell. I became obsessed with my security camera footage. Every morning, I'd replay the exact moment. The timestamp would read 4:04 a.m., and for a split second, a flicker, a distortion would appear on the screen. It was a smudge, a glitch in the data. But as the days turned into a week, the smudge started to take shape. It was tall, impossibly tall and thin. A distorted, elongated silhouette that stood right on my porch, its form so blurry it was like looking at a heat haze. Its presence lasted for only a fraction of a second, but it was there. I tried everything. I disconnected the doorbell. But at 4:04 a.m., I'd still hear the chime, a phantom sound ringing only in my ears. I unplugged the entire camera system. It didn't matter. The feeling of being watched was more intense than ever. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. I was exhausted, my nerves frayed, jumping at every creak and groan of the old house. I started drinking coffee at 3 a.m. just to be awake and ready for it. I'd sit on the stairs, clutching a baseball bat, staring at the front door, waiting. The chime would come, and my blood would run cold. I never saw anything through the peephole, but I knew it was there, standing, waiting. One night, desperation took over. I bought a new high-definition camera, the best one on the market, and installed it myself, aiming it directly at the spot where the figure appeared. I needed a clearer picture. I needed to know what this thing was. That night I huddled in my office, my eyes glued to the live feed on my monitor. The digital clock ticked closer. 4:02, my breath hitched. 4:03, my hands were shaking. 4:04, the chime. On the screen, for the first time, it was clear. It wasn't just a smudge. It was a figure, tall and gaunt, draped in what looked like dark, ragged cloth. It had no discernible face, just a smooth, pale oval where features should be. Its limbs were unnaturally long, its fingers like twigs. It stood perfectly still, its head slightly cocked as if listening. For an entire week, I watched this horrifying apparition manifest on my porch every night. It never moved. It never made a sound other than the initial chime. It just stood there, this faceless sentinel at my door. My fear slowly began to curdle into a strange, morbid curiosity. Why my house? Why 4:04 a.m.? What did it want? The lack of action was almost worse than an outright attack. It was a psychological war, and I was losing. My friends thought I was going crazy. My boss told me to take time off. I felt completely isolated, trapped in my own home with this silent, nightly visitor. I started talking to it through the door. "What do you want?" I'd yell, my voice cracking. "Leave me alone." But there was never a response, only silence. The third week began, and the routine continued. I was a ghost in my own life, just waiting for that nightly appointment. But last night, something changed. I was at my usual post, staring at the monitor, a fresh pot of coffee next to me. 4:04 a.m., the chime, the figure appeared, as always. But this time, it moved. It raised one of its long, spindly arms and pointed a single, bony finger directly at the camera. At me, my heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. And then, a sound. Not a chime, but a whisper. It came through my computer speakers, a dry, raspy sound like dead leaves scraping against pavement. It was barely audible, but the words were unmistakable. They chilled me to the bone, freezing the very marrow in my body. The whisper said, "It's your turn to open." My blood turned to ice. "It's your turn." What did that mean? Who opened the door before? My mind raced, trying to make sense of the nonsensical. I spent the rest of the night pacing, the whisper echoing in my head. I searched online for the history of my house, for any strange occurrences, any previous owners who might have... What? Disappeared? Gone mad? I found nothing. It was just a normal house. But the words hung in the air. "It's your turn to open." It wasn't a request, it was a command, a promise. A final step in this terrifying ritual. Now it's 3:30 a.m. I'm recording this because I don't know what else to do. In about 30 minutes, the bell will chime. The figure will be there, and it expects me to open the door. Part of me is screaming to run, to get in my car and drive until the sun comes up. But another, darker part of me is curious. It's a pull, an inexplicable need to see what's on the other side, to understand. The fear is still there, a physical weight in my chest, but it's now mixed with a strange sense of resignation. It feels like this was always going to be the ending, like I'm just a character in a story that was written long before I moved in. The clock is ticking. 3:55 a.m. I can feel its presence already. The air in the house is heavy, cold, it's waiting. I don't know if I'm brave or just a fool. I don't know what will happen when I turn that handle. Will I see its face? Will it take me somewhere? Or will I simply vanish, becoming another part of the story for the next person who lives here? The next person who hears the doorbell at 4:04 a.m. Maybe that's the point. Maybe someone has to open the door to pass the curse along. Maybe it's my turn. I can hear the hum of the electricity in the walls. Or maybe it's not electricity. Maybe it's a whisper, getting closer. The clock just hit 4:03. I have to go. I think I'm going to open it.